Hello and welcome to The Downsized. My name is Laraine Durham, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about menopause and Mounjaro, or in my case, menopause and compounded Tirzepatide. I went to a workshop at my gym last week, and specifically about menopause, and in our weekly weigh-in video, Christopher and I talked a little bit about it, and as we thought about it, I wanted to talk a little bit more about menopause and its effects on GLP-1 medications and vice versa. I'm 55. I thought I was going to be the oldest woman in America to hit menopause. I found out, no, there are some women older than me. But I feel like when I started on compounded Tirzepatide, it made my cycle very regular for 3 months, and then it completely stopped. And I went to the doctor for a checkup in March. My blood work said I was postmenopausal. I said, wasn't there supposed to be a year there? And how does this work? And why am I now having hot flashes that I haven't had before? And I think a lot of women have questions about menopause because doctors really don't give us a lot of information, and there's not a lot of information out there. So I wanted to share a couple things that I learned at this menopause workshop with Dr. Haddad. She's a doctor who specializes in menopause. I wanted to share this video with you separately and drop a note in the comments. Let me know what you think. Thanks. On Friday, I went to a menopause workshop at my gym. So my gym is also a senior center. I'm 55, so I'm at the younger age of the spectrum of people who go there, but they did have this menopause workshop. So they brought in Dr. Ariel Haddad, who has a concierge menopause practice. She left, I think she was with Novant or one of those other big healthcare providers, and went out on her own, so she doesn't take insurance. Everybody wanted to know, how do I get an appointment with her? And I'm sure it's probably pretty expensive, but she talked about how in medical school, doctors don't get a lot of training on menopause and how to handle women going through this change and things they can do for them. So she has specifically specialized in this medicine. And I don't think she's gone through menopause herself. I think she said she was in her 40s. One thing, she talked about a lot of things, but one thing she talked about was women going through menopause and in this time of life, they need to keep down stress, because when stress is elevated, your cortisol levels in your body get elevated, and that increases belly fat, which is really so hard to lose if you're a woman, or maybe if you're a man too. I don't know. But as you go through menopause,
Really?
Well, women with childbirth and stuff, and I'll have to let the man tell you.
Have you seen my belly?
That's the only part of you left that needs to.
I'm just saying.
That needs to go. Okay, sorry.
Not sure what you don't know.
And I asked her about GLP-1 medications with menopause. She really wasn't a proponent of them unless you had 30 or more pounds to lose. And I told her, oh, by the way, I've lost 47 pounds with a GLP-1 medication. And I think I've hit menopause in the past couple of months. And I think Mounjaro but compounded Tirzepatide caused me to go into menopause. But I'm 55. Maybe it was just time or whatever. She also talked about, she tells women about 3 buckets of exercise. So the first bucket is aerobic exercise. So walking, running, dance aerobics, step aerobics. She likes all of those things. She said you need to do them at least 3 times a week, but you need to keep your heart rate under, I think she said 130, which I looked at her, because I wear a Apple Watch. It's over here because it bangs on the table. And so as I'm exercising, I'm tracking I occasionally look down and look at my heart rate. If I feel like I'm going to die, I know I'm at the top of my heart rate. And usually it's about 150 is when I get that feeling. And that's in step aerobics or in the dance aerobics that I do. So to go down to 130, I feel like I wouldn't be working very hard at all. But she said what happens when you go above 130 is your body thinks it's under stress. It thinks you're trying to run away from something that's chasing you, that wants to kill you. So it induces a fight or flight response, which induces cortisol, which is not good for belly fat. The second bucket of exercise she talked about was weightlifting. And I think we've heard this as women get older, we lose muscle mass, especially when we diet, we lose muscle mass. I've lost some muscle mass along this journey. So it's important to lift weights, heavy weights. And I told her, I said, I see the weight room over there on the other side of the gym. I said, I don't really know what to do over there. I can look at the machine, I can see the directions, I can follow the picture, but I don't know if I'm doing it right, heavy enough, too heavy, enough reps, I don't know. She suggested a personal trainer. I'm not going to do that right now, but there's a lot of apps out there, so maybe we'll do some investigation because I do want to start lifting more weights. The third bucket of exercise she talked about was making a mind-body connection. So with a yoga or a guided meditation kind of thing where you really focus on your breathing and thinking about what you're doing and your intention. And to me, I've always felt like if I'm not sweating it out, if I'm not running or doing something to get my heart rate really high, I feel like I'm not going to lose weight. And I asked that question. I said, yoga, to me, I like yoga. It's very calming. It's very relaxing. To me, it's not a workout. And I might get some feedback from people who do yoga for their workout. But what this doctor was saying was, you need the mind-body connection. You need the yoga piece as much as you need the aerobic piece, as much as you need the weightlifting piece. And she wanted you to do all 3 times a week. I said, that's 9 days. I got 7 days in a week. How am I going to do all the things? And she said, maybe some days you do a little bit of aerobics and you lift weights, or after you do yoga, you go for a walk or something along those lines. And I exercise a lot, and that sounds like a lot of exercise to me, but that was her suggestion. But it was really interesting to me that the yoga I can look at maybe differently as not an indulgence or maybe, but it's helpful. It's helpful to me.
I mean, you've been to New
journey.
York into Chinatown, and that park by Chinatown, there will be 100 people.
Doing the Tai Chi.
A lot of which are 80 and 90-year-old Chinese people doing Tai Chi in great shape. And that's probably the only exercise they do.
I don't know, but it's definitely big. They have a Tai Chi at the gym. And I've seen the older people coming in to do the Tai Chi and been like, I'm going to do my step aerobics. And, and
it's a weirdly aggressive thing that you got to do all that stuff.
Yeah. So but it's good. So if you're doing yoga, keep it up. If you're doing Pilates, keep it up. If you're doing transcendental meditation, keep it up. I have a story about transcendental meditation. Another time. Let's move on.
Thank you. So the 30-pound recommendation, though, that kind of goes along the lines with a lot of people will use BMI for that measure.
That's true. Maybe that's
basically
baseline.
Saying it should not be used for cosmetic purposes.
Right. If you just have 5 or 10 pounds to lose, you're not watching this channel. You shouldn't be on these medications. But anyway.
Thank you for being a part of our Downsize family as we explore the world of GLP-1s together. Please, as we've said before, please like and subscribe. It really does help, and it'll make sure you're notified every time we publish a story.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And I'm Christopher Durham. Until next time, take care.
Take care. Thanks for watching.